doubles and coffee. I feel cocktail the senior mad, I think the St. Anne's Mad House expanding to Balize House. Stuart Smallpin Young telling the population, keep your eye on the refinery, because we in the PNM, the government that I was a part of, we did everything in the energy sector transparently and openly with proper procurement, and we did not have to depend on secrets and NDA. What? As I used to say, what? Look, Stuart Young, first and foremost, you think any human being in this country still want to hear from you? Go up in Rampanalgas, go on some hike, go in the bush. Don't send me no picture. Just go in the bush now, go on a long walk. Take a rest. Number one, you're the worst minister in the history of the energy sector, decimating the energy sector, making NGC make a loss for the first time in history under your watch. You went to Houston in 2017 and complete negotiation, and then everything started to collapse. From that, over 11 companies shut down at Point Lisas. Point Lisas moved from 74% capacity down to 28%. The refinery was shut by you and Rowley. Why did you all shut down the refinery? You all still have not said so. First of all, you blame Tea Lady and high salaries of the workers. Then you blame the inefficiency of the refinery. It could never be profitable, which was a lie, because in the last year it made a profit. And then you say, well, eventually you talk the truth and say it was the debt burden, the yoke around the neck of Petrotrin, which would not make it viable, economically viable, but you failed to tell the people that was your PNM Malcolm Jones that indebted Petrotrin with the World GTL as he was executive chairman of Petrotrin at that time, taking decisions and committing taxpayers' dollars in the billions of dollars and putting that debt burden on Petrotrin. That was PNM debt. That was your client. Why you don't tell the people that Malcolm Jones was your client? So when they could go and look at the Privy Council, when you were in the Ministry of the Attorney General under Faris Al-Rawi, and Maxi Coffey said 2 days before that the case will be withdrawn against Malcolm Jones, your former client. And on what basis? Vincent Nelson, the senior counsel prostitute of a lawyer who needed his money back, $10 million, and would say anything and do anything. He changed his opinion that was paid for. 34 pages of in-depth research opinion changed to one paragraph, flip-flopping, black jacket, white jacket, hypocrisy. And then you and your government come in to talk to the people and say, watch the refinery. When you find the only company you could have found to oversee what you call was some bidding process is Scotiabank, where your father was the boss man for 42 years, only Scotiabank. And the next man who was to oversee the independence and the impartiality of the process that you call it was Vishnu Danpal, a man who was permanent secretary in the Ministry of Finance and come in the Senate now and say he was championing the PNM policy of the TTRA. Since when a permanent secretary does champion the executive policy of a government and politicians? That's what you come to claim in front of the people. You, the man who was going back and forth to Maduro after Rowley do conga line, and you was clapping your hands as Rowley whine like Maduro and going back and forth with Delcy Rodriguez and only spinning your hand like this and saying you didn't drill down during COVID. You didn't know Delcy was coming here, and she was coming here for just COVID to talk about hampers and vaccinations and so on, support for the migrants that were here. Nonsense. And the middle of town was locked down for 2 hours with so much military and police. Why? Then you came to admit that Delcy Rodriguez came here to talk about dragon gas. You put all our energy eggs in one basket, and the basket have a hole in it just like your brain. And you come in here to talk to the citizens about the energy sector. You cut energy sector rig days in half. Jobs from 20,500 down to 10,200. You shatter the energy sector. We were bunkering and receiving fuel from Jamaica. Jamaica don't have no oil, no nothing. And we had to spend $90 million. And all you give Gilbert Peterson, a senior councilman, a bunkering contract. And you come to tell Trinidad and Tobago to look, because Kamala put a committee And Minister Munilal put a committee to analyze what's the best way forward. Is you shut down the refinery, the Solomon report, the McKinsey report, the Lashley report. No report said shut down Petrotrin. And y'all said that it was Winfred Espine and his board, his PNM board that said shut it down. Espine went in court and swear on the Bible. He never told you and Rowley. He never told the cabinet to shut down Petrotrin. All you shut it down, why? Because a man bareback cuss but love you and love Rowley like hog love mutt. Did that man tell you and Rowley, you shut it down, lock it down, break it down, or we all go down? That's what the people want to know. Why Petrotrin refinery was shut down? Why were divers left to die in a pipe for 39 hours? I now see a video where men break down wall, digging a cave to save a dog. You had 4 divers remaining in a pipe. Proof of life. A man was down. They come out and say, my boy's right there. And you, as the minister in charge, you and Paria and your executives, you're all PNM, left those men down in that pipe to dead. Why? What were they doing in that pipe? What was that pipe about? What about the Aldan, the Manolatis that came in, and the Aldan that left Venezuela to come across, went into Point-a-Pair, and Shell changed the consignment to Trafigura PTE, and from Trafigura PTE, it went out as ES Euro shipping. What about that in April 2020? And when I asked Franklin Khan, how much of that took place in April 2020 when Delcy Rodriguez came and you had Rowley saying, who I didn't know who was on the plane, a sanctioned jet. I see here Astrubal Chavez. You have no shame, small pin. You feel people in this country notice the reason you got a cocktail, the reason the PNM lost is because of you, because you were the super minister, the Gary Sobers of everything, and you are a total, complete failure. You can't bully this population. They bully you. You get a constitutional majority of cocktail. You still talking and coming to play lies after lies here. The people know the truth. So don't come here and tell me about refinery. Kamala Persad-Bissessar will open the refinery. Her government will find a way to create jobs and bring back the energy sector. Rudal Munilal already getting interest and foreign direct investment coming back here. Money is coming back because you are gone. People know that you are waste, that you had to negotiate everything. No public servants. People were sick of you. Sanders ran from you. But Stuart ran from you. Why did But Stuart run? What did you ask But Stuart for that he ran from here? And then say, oh, it's the opposition because they were saying that the project wasn't making sense. Really? But Stuart don't run from opposition, whether it is in Bahamas, whether it is in Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Antigua, Jamaica. But Stuart is a strong businessman who does take pressure, unlike you, your mama pool. So people, yes, keep an eye on everything, because Kamala Persad-Bissessar says about transparency, accountability. She increased the energy sector and the revenues when she was there. NGC was making billions of US in profit when she was there. We were refining oil when she was there. Jobs were up in the energy sector when she was there. The Point Lisas was operating at 74% when Kamala was there. She will bring back all of that. She will bring back confidence. She will make deals with our regional partners. She will make deals with Suriname and Guyana to create jobs for her people, not just to cut grass and play games. So Stuart Young, go back in whatever hole you was in. Go and pour on your baggies and take a picture on the beach by yourself. Now nearly say bless word, not for you.